just no breathing. Yeah, man, do go rough. Anyway, so yeah, we'll start off with Kamala's plan, I guess.
Kamala do
She's a
sound better though.
yeah, I know it do, man. I be trying. Listen, I'm just trying to
Pronounce
help.
her name the way her mama gave it to her,
Mm-hmm,
Kamala.
mm-hmm,
We're gonna pronounce it the black way.
mm-hmm,
Kamala.
mm-hmm. Let me see. So I'm on the site, and I'm gonna take a little gander here. All about this here plan for black men. She got a plan for us.
Specifically, what them niggas be asking for? What you gonna do for black people?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know,
Black men
yeah,
and their families.
yeah. Provide.
Very
So my first question about this plan. My first question: provide 1 million in forgivable loans for up to 20,000 for black entrepreneurs and up. Who's the and others? First of all, see, it said provide forgivable loans up to 20,000 to black entrepreneurs and others. Who is this and others group right here?
Africans.
No. Who is the and others? They didn't specify that. I need specifics. Who's the and others?
So I think because this is included in her plan, that and others is other people,
Like who?
like other citizens.
Mm. So this ain't exclusive to us.
I don't think so.
There we go. We done. My opinion is no longer. I have no opinion. Y'all can discuss this. If it ain't, listen. This is what I want. All potential and future people that are running for presidents and that's calling themselves doing something for my people, make it exclusive. Be clear. And I need you discussing reparations somewhere. I ain't see reparations nothing in this whole goddamn plan. Where's reparations at?
It ain't gonna never happen.
I don't give a damn. Lie to me. Y'all lie about everything else. She lied. There's some lies in here. I seen a couple of lies. I don't want no others involved. Ain't not for others. We're not dealing with others right now. Come on, Kamala.
The thing about that and how they placed us within this language, whenever they refer to, it's like they don't refer to black people specifically. They always say people of color, so that they can include everybody that's not white. Anybody that's not white is a person of color. So we're beyond this the stage of doing things specifically for black people, because they're gonna include people of color, because that's more palatable.
I don't like it. I don't want it. So launch national equity initiative focused on black men. That's I'm pretty. I went down there, and there's stuff down there that kind of breaks up that. It kind of explains that more in depth. Legalize marijuana at the federal level to break down unjust legal barriers that hold black men and other Americans back. Again, and other American. I don't want no and other. We legalize marijuana at the federal level. I mean, I guess go for it. I mean, but what I would say is what I've observed and what a lot of people are observing is that this young generation on this weed, they're not high performers. They're not doing well.
They weren't. These are the kids who was eating Tide Pods. They weren't high performers before the weed.
Right. Ooh. So it ain't gonna make them better. So I don't see this.
Maybe we can get some high performance from them on some psilocybin or something. I don't know. But weed ain't doing it.
In the other breakdown, though, it was talking about the business aspect of it, like, so I can imagine, black people, yeah, you can have the opportunity to now own and open dispensaries and you can financially benefit from it. I mean, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? lower costs by enacting enacting a first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging for food and groceries. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, trying to tell people where they. I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Telling businesses where they can set their prices. What do y'all think about that? Like, they're telling you where you can, like, the max that you can charge for milk.
I mean,
good.
Sounds good.
It's not. I wouldn't look at it in a frame of you can tell me how much I can charge, so much as you're telling people what they can't inflate their rate to a certain thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like with eggs, when eggs went up, eggs is normally at $2.50 a carton. Now you selling it for $10 a goddamn carton. What? You go to a restaurant and order some deviled eggs. They talking about market price. Market price for some eggs.
Yeah.
What? So now that I understand. Is it gonna work? I don't think so. It's a nice try though. It sounds cute.
It sounds good.
Maybe it'll work. Maybe I'm being cynical. I'm not a believer in that one though. Now the next one, the lower rent and provide down payment assistance. That lower rent, I don't see it happening. The down payment assistance, you might be able to do something there.
Yeah. That I was thinking the exact same thing. The lower rent, because that's really based on things that's based on the economy. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Now I will say this though. Talking to all my real estate people and professionals and learning a lot, trying to learn a lot about it. A lot of companies, they do come in and they buy up everything and then they raise the rent in the whole area. And that does displace certain groups. But then on the flip side though, it raises the value of the community. For those that are home buyers, it raises it helps us out. So it's there's a catch-22 in that. But it also does say they're tripling the number of new first-time home buyers with down payment assistance. So if the value of the homes gets raised and people can actually afford to live there if they can qualify for a mortgage, as long as you help with down payment assistance, that's not a bad plan. That's not a bad plan, but we got to be real careful with that because we've seen what's happened when people get into mortgages and they can't really afford them.
Because we about to have another pop now because of that. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize, what happened. They're like, oh, well, people were able to buy homes on foreclosure. Yeah, but they still got variable interest loans.
Yep.
They still got 7-1 arms.
Yeah.
And then inflation went up. So, you got plenty of people paying more for a house than it's actually worth.
Yep. So
but you have everybody, oh, well, your house always appreciates in value. No, it does not.
Yep.
That is not a 100% thing that's always going to happen.
Well, over long term, it's going to happen. But in the short term, that people are thinking that they're going to get these big booms that they hear about, like, 5 years ago when somebody bought something, they got this crazy boom 4 years later. That 5-year quick jump, that's not normal. It normally takes longer than that to get a jump. And I think people jumped into the market thinking in 5 years, I'm just going to refinance and resell. And they're finding out now in year 4 and 5, nah, I can't.
And then you don't even have the credit to do it, much less you going to do all of this other stuff. But here's where things get greasy for me when it comes to that. People, oh, well, you helping somebody else find financial freedom and this, that, and the other. You can't realize equity until you either take a loan on the house, an additional loan on the house, or sell it.
Yeah.
For most people, y'all living paycheck to paycheck anyway, so that equity ain't helping you.
Yeah.
Until you get to a point where you can be stable in an investment.
Yep.
Having equity in the house don't mean a hill of beans to you, because now you got a house and you ain't got no furniture.
Yeah. And what you gonna do with the equity when you get anyway? Me and Sam was just talking about it yesterday. What you gonna do with the equity? You finna go on a vacation or you finna go invest it in something else?
Nothing.
Don't pull out that equity just to go shopping. We ain't pulling out equity just to go Christmas shopping. That's not what we're doing around here.
And get a HELOC in a heartbeat.
Man, look,
He like with 11% interest rate. That's cheaper than a credit card because them retail card, the Abercrombie card, like 30%.
Huh?
Gracious.
Yeah. Even the Sam's Club card just went up to almost 30%.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My renewal used to be $50 a year. Now it's $100 a year.
Well, that's on the plus, yeah.
That's why I renewed it.
So is there really truly anything that y'all believe that they can do on a federal level that's going to change things drastically in the economy to benefit Black folks?
No.
I don't
The
think so
benefit.
No.
No.
Like
But that's kind of the issue I have with this whole thing is that Black people are looking for something to federally happen.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually do the bare bone, when you look at the economics of it, when you look at the actual practice, it's kind of impossible to do because now you have to decide, well, what determines Black?
Mhm.
Because you also have your Caribbean folks. You, especially if we're talking reparations, you have your Caribbean folks. You have your actual Africans. You have Africans that have moved to Europe. You have Africans in Asia that were raised in Asia, like born and raised. But a lot of those people live here now, right?
Yep.
If you make it quote unquote a Black agenda, then they get access too. It's no different than a lot of the programs that say your Ivy League colleges have for minorities are largely used by African students.
Yeah.
So how do you even quantify or qualify rather what Black people should get?
And then where does the money come from to even get these things these things have to be funded federally. How are things funded federally? Your tax dollars.
Taxes.
Your tax dollars.
The taxes that we don't pay because we go into Jackson Hewitt.
Right. Or inflation. Like man, the bill will come due. Money don't just come out of nowhere. And I don't want to have this, pull up your bootstraps mentality and go get it out the mud on your own sort of thing. I'm not saying that. I think if anything else, it's already too late for us to go back in time and remove restrictions that everybody else already benefited off of. We can't do that. We can't go back in time and remove redlining and all the things that held us back. We can't do that. It's too late for that. But that's I think where it starts. You have to find ways to remove some restrictions and say, you know what? We're not going to hold y'all to that standard. We're going to look at something else as long as you got other qualifying factors. I think that's the best way to go because it's like, okay, if there's a list of things and there's 1 through 10, and then in that red tape that 7 out of those 10 things are really important. The other 3 you can kind of overlook those for Black people to get them in place. So the standard is the standard technically, but we got these 3 things we gonna just kind of say, all right, we ain't gonna worry about that when it come to y'all. That's the best thing because then you don't end up, and it can't be something that's gonna charge the country financially and affect the dollar on any sort of level because you don't need inflation and you don't need more taxes on people to help another group. Like, because that's a never-ending cycle that just does not seem to really work long term. Short term, it works because you get people that benefit off of it real quick and they make something happen. But the group entirely, no, it doesn't show up. It doesn't.
Man, if anything gonna happen positively for us, collectively, it's gonna have to be from the efforts of us collectively.
Yes.
That's the only way it's gonna happen. Like just going back to the Reconstruction era, they weren't given anything, even though they were promised 40 acres and a mule. They weren't given anything, and they were forced to work together as a community, and they created something from that. At this point, where we at now as a collective, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening because the main reason why it happened then is because we all our ancestors knew and identified their enemy. Right now, you have too many individual sects of black people. You know what I mean? And we'll call it the up north mentality, where everybody, oh, we grew up together, so yeah, we rock. You know what I'm saying? So, but then you come down here and like, nah, we don't rock with them. What you mean, yo? That's my New York accent.
No, for real, man. You've heard that where when we've made it clear, hey man, they can't say certain things and they can't do certain things. And they say, well, we all grew up in the same borough. Hey man, we don't give a damn about that. That's not what we do around here where we're from. They're not allowed to come into these spaces and behave in a certain manner and get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Casey feels a way about that too, but like everybody ain't invited to the cookout, man. You just cannot do it, because the moment they get comfortable and something goes a certain way, now we're addressing, see, I told you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to ever have that see I told you moment, because then that becomes divisive among us.
Yeah.
That becomes real divisive. But I mean, I think back when we did, strap it on and say, hey, this is going to be the standard. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we're taken care of first. And we're going to rely on each other first and foremost. I do think, though, in the behind the scenes, there are things happening. Behind the scenes, there are black people making coordinated efforts to start business and do business together. The more of us do that over time, it's not a take over the country mentality. It should only be I want to provide a space for my brother and sister to be great. That's it. So when you consider business opportunities, can I, as a black man, provide a business opportunity for another black man to get to where he wants to get to? Can I, as a black man, provide a business opportunity for a black woman to get where she needs to get to? And then when they do that, they push it forward. Everybody continues to push it forward. Somebody said one of the things that is unfortunate for the black community now is that we're not, when we talk about providers, right? Providers aren't just those that pay bills. Providers is, can you provide me a job? It's easy to tell this young black man out there, hey man, you ought not be doing this, you ought not be doing that, you ought to be doing this. You shouldn't be selling dope, you shouldn't be doing this, you need to make some money. And he's like, well, how am I gonna make some money? If I got a shop over here, or I got a business, or I actually have something and I can employ one or two, hey man, if you're gonna do right, then I can make sure you get a check every week and you take care of yourself. We have to get in those positions collectively. That way we can bring each other along collectively.
I think if there has to be an actual program that can be enacted, honestly, what I'd rather see is more money given to PBIs. And I know people will say, well, what about HBCUs? Historically, HBCUs have served a purpose, right? But there's still a need for additional spaces. And because a lot of kids just simply can't afford to go to HBCU.
You're right.
And they're expensive. Right. Like, that's why I didn't go. They were just number one, they were expensive, right. And they didn't have my major number two. But we have a lot of PBIs that are doing the work, and they should get the additional support for it. I think Georgia State in the state of Georgia is probably one really notable PBI. I work at a PBI at Augusta Technical College. That, and we're leaning heavily to be more community college oriented. Because as much as people want to say, you ain't got to go to college, get into the trades. No, you need to go to college. You need to go to college. Doesn't mean you need to have a 4-year degree, but it means you do need some. I think these kids do need post-secondary education.
Yeah.
Even if they're going for plumbing or something like that, you can go to a trade and still go to a college to do it. Just because I think the college experience, not only the education piece isn't what's the most beneficial, it's the creation of networks that is
Yep.
probably more beneficial for a
Yep.
lot of people. And if
Yep.
you aren't doing that, then the military is a great option. The military should be a
Yep.
PBI at this
Man,
point.
the networks you hold on, I want to go back to what you said. Now I want to go back to what you said, the creation of networks. We use this social media thing to have fun, but the creation of networks is partially what it was put out here for. Of course, now it's a money grab, advertising is everywhere, but networking. Me and Sam have this conversation all the time, and I'm like, man, we have not even tapped, like we haven't really tapped into our own high school network. Like that was a network. But on the next level of college is where it really starts to take place, right? You went to school with these people because everybody started to see, okay, we're on a similar trajectory. That builds a network that y'all can do business with. You know what I'm saying? Man, when you listen to stories of all of these guys that started companies, they started a company somewhere with a college buddy. And somewhere with a college buddy or somewhere with somebody or another, they got an angel investor from somebody who knew somebody that was somebody. It started from their college network.
Yep.
We absolutely need that. That's a good one, Chef. We absolutely, for if nothing else, for the networking alone.
Yeah, because I mean, even at the community college level, I think we're just doing our kids a disservice to just say, "Oh, well, you need a plumber more than you need a sociologist." No, we need both, because there's definitely not enough Black sociologists out there. It's a good bit of us, but ain't enough of us, because we're the ones who, of course, help enact policies that can change social things. And if nobody's actually having those conversations, then what happens? Then a lot of the sociologists are more academics, where they're focused on like race relations and things of that nature, but they're not actually doing the research to produce a policy or actual activity to solve the problem. They're researching the problem, but not actually solving it. But
Yeah.
I went off topic. But I'd like to see a lot more money given to PBI specifically, and have that distinction actually mean something. Right now, I think it more means paper, on paper, that you're a predominantly Black institution. I don't know that there's any funding assigned to it. But I think there should be, because we have those PBIs are capturing the reach that our HBCUs can't.
Yeah.
Albany State is considered a PBI. I think Fort Valley is considered HBCU. But we have a lot of institutions out here doing some really powerful work, and especially our smaller institutions that are your community colleges, your technical schools, they need additional funding
Absolutely.
to provide this reach. So if you go here and legalize marijuana and say, okay, well, now we're going to make this accessible for people to start their own businesses. Okay, well, are you going to put some money into these people training for these businesses? Are you going to do that? Can we Google Hush? Can we introduce a new apprenticeship program through the Department of Labor that teaches specifically about cannabis uses, hemp uses, things of that nature, things that have been historically used against Black people, now being used as conduits toward financial freedom. I'm not going to say generational wealth, because wealth is such a nuanced term. I'm going to say
Financial freedom. Yeah.
financial freedom is a little bit better of a term. That's what I would like to see from this policy. If you're specifically wanting to target Black men, number one, I agree on some exclusivity things. Like, what exclusively for Black men are you going to do? If you legalize marijuana, are you now going to commute the sentences of everybody who went to jail? Because that's what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could be something that could be very, very pivotal to the Black community.
And
Of
run them and run them a bag too. You just don't let them out. If you're gonna let them out, you have to now facilitate how those men, if they need to provide for somebody else, that they got. Hey, you just can't let them out and set them like you got to set them up for success if you're gonna do that.
Give them the right to vote too.
Yeah.
Yeah. In most states, you can requalify for the right to vote. You just have to go through some paperwork to do it. And a lot of, y'all, you know how y'all men don't like paperwork.
Oh man, I gotta go sign all this shit, man. I ain't gonna go in. I ain't finna go. Yeah, I ain't gonna.
People keep saying women file divorce more because we're unhappy. No, we file divorce more because men won't file the papers.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
That literally is.
That's really what it is.
Because dudes be like, I gotta fill out what now? And I gotta do what? Ain't man nobody got time for that.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna go work this shit on out.
How many pages I gotta sign? What the hell is a notary?
Mm-hmm.
And now I gotta serve her pay. Man, nobody got to. Man, I'm gonna go home and take care of this woman.
Man, go home and figure this issue. We're working on out. Yeah, man. Yeah, I would say the other thing is, what about is there anything on a federal level that we need to see as far as early childhood education? And Casey, I know you better tap in on that one, but for real, like from a federal level, can they really do anything that benefits us as a whole?
They can't do nothing for us. We can only do for us. That's what I think.
Man, look, that'd be the way. That's where I'd be like, oh, what you gonna do? Like,
I mean, seriously, because the Black experience, growing up with your people, waking up seeing your people every day, going to school with your peers, it's a whole different ball game. And then, trying to sit in a classroom with them and what they feeding us, and you know what I mean? Like, so I no, I wouldn't even, no, I wouldn't even expect nothing out of them. I think it's in our hands to do what we think is necessary for our children, which is why my daughter's homeschooled, because I'm not playing with these people, But I'm sorry, I'm over here trying to stuff my face.
Oh, I can
all good. I mean, I kind of wish pre-K was regulated just like the regular, like primary and secondary education. And I don't mean like pre-K 3 and pre-K 4. I mean pre-K 1, pre-K 2. I wish that was something more regulated is the wrong word. I wish there was more guidance on it. Because, there's a difference between a preschool. There's a difference between a daycare and a preschool.
mm.
And I feel like when I was in preschool, I remember 3 years old or so, we actually learned. So it felt like school.
Mm-hmm.
Versus now you have a lot of daycares. So your child is this kind of there. They got some toys for them to play with, change diapers, this is that and the third, and that's it. And then you can see the difference in how certain teachers enact with the kids as well, because you have some teachers that are really engaged, they teaching the child things, and then you have other teachers that child ain't doing all that. So I wish there was more parameters for that from somewhere that I mean, I know the state regulates certain things, but I don't know that they regulate curriculum.
So here's the thing: if you're licensed, you are supposed to have a curriculum. I can't say, just like every child care center does not keep all the children safe on, across the board. They're not
Right.
all teaching children, preschool, and they should be. They're supposed to be. When licensing comes and inspects you, they are looking for those things. So they're supposed to be teaching that. Now it's not as intense as a preschool. It doesn't have to be, but you have to be teaching them something, the basics. You know what I mean? I just became accredited as a preschool, like in the last couple months. So I won't be called a child care, center anymore, or daycare anymore. Which means prices go up. No, I'm playing. But
yeah, dude.
I mean, it should.
But
it ain't got to be Montessori prices,
I'm finna get a job.
But no, but with that being accredited, they gonna be on your ass more. You know what I mean? Like they gonna be popping up, making sure what you teaching now, what you teaching them today. So when you are licensed to be a child care center or daycare, it's in the licensing standards that you are supposed to be teaching a curriculum. They don't, like I said, police exactly what you teach, but they gonna ask you like, well, are y'all doing ABCs, 1 through 3? Show me what you're doing. You know what I mean? And it differs from inspector to inspector. But like I said, but once you call yourself a preschool, the rules change and it's different, and then they really be on your ass. But but my thing is, I learned from working in the school district that talking to like different teachers, like kindergarten teachers and stuff, because of the different kids on different spectrums and learning curves and stuff, they treat everybody like they've learned nothing until they walk into kindergarten. So it's like it almost don't even matter if you put your child in preschool or not. Yes, when they get in school, they might be advanced and they might get skipped ahead depending on what school district you're in. But for the most part, all teachers assume they know these kids have been taught in preschool, but they just gonna start from like ground zero because they can't teach on all these different levels. They're not equipped to do that. So, like I said, I feel like that's why it falls back on us, because when they're put in like public school systems, it's a disservice to them, because like I said, your child might be advanced, but they got to go to kindergarten and start.
And then they're bored. Yeah, and then they're bored. And then what are they doing when they're bored? Absolutely.
Acting up.
Absolutely.
I tell my my daycare parents all the time when they are struggling with their children, and I'll be like, there's nothing wrong with your child. They are bored. You have to make sure they're doing A, B, and C 24/7. And then you gonna tire them out. You know what I mean? But you can tell like how different children think and move and act. And I'm just like, there is nothing wrong with your child. They're just super intelligent, and nobody's feeding them. Nobody, you know what I mean? So they just sitting there coming up with crazy stuff to do that's getting on your nerves and the teacher's nerves, and you know what I mean? But if you find something constructive for them to do, like, build me this or build me that, give them something that's hard for them.
That's my child.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these kids are.
He's so bored.
I be telling them all the time, these kids that y'all think have discipline problems, or if somebody is coaching them and teaching them the right way, they will be the ones that rule the world. And, the scientists and the people that come up with cures for this and that. And you know what I mean? Because they're so intelligent. But nobody's there because everybody want to, beat them into place. Sit down, shut up. It is not natural for a child to sit in a seat in an enclosed area for 8 hours a day. And then go to recess for like 15 minutes or something like that. Like, no, that's not natural. It's not natural, So, but anyway, I mean, we'll talk about, go more in depth later. But
it is a good point there. Like you said, yeah, and that's a good insight. Like, I didn't know that, there was somebody check, but like you just said, when they become with that accreditation, becomes more scrutiny, which is good, man. It's good to know that, you get that accredited. Like you said, yeah, them prices can go up, but then somebody's going to come in and really try to see what you got going on. That's good. I think we need more Black people starting early childhood education. Those of y'all that are qualified. I want to be very clear. When I say more, I don't mean all of y'all that just want to get the bag.
No, the funny part is I just didn't know
like actually like children.
Yeah.
It's a thing that people were starting daycares because they like, oh, the money's there. I'm like, It's because of the children. You know what I mean?
No, man, people talk about the money, and I'm like, that's not.
My son's daycare is Black owned, but it's in a predominantly white area, and it's one of the most expensive daycares in the city.
Yeah, I can only
just
imagine.
for that reason.
And see, my parents even tell me
them dudes don't care nothing about them kids.
That's the funny part. My daycare parents be like, if you charge us more, we wouldn't even complain, because they know, they be like, you're such a good, daycare provider. We want, like, they'll move out of the area and they be like, we ain't taking our kids nowhere. We drive take to bring them to you. But here's my thing. From day one, I had like two goals. One was so I could be a stay-at-home mom. I could work, make money, and be a stay-at-home mom with my children, right? The second goal was, once they were old enough, I would move the daycare out of my house, start a center, and base it on like Black kids, because like I said, I grew up in St. Louis, when and going to school with Black people was so different than moving.
Mamma mia, me,
and so that's always been, shut up. That's always been my goal. Is so they're learning Black history every day. They're seeing what it feels like to be, in school with people that look like them. And it's a whole different environment, and so that's my next step after my daughter's done. She got 2 more years, and I'm getting this business out of my house. And like I said, it's going to be a academy for Black children, where like not only are sports introduced, but all the music is introduced, all the different. I think we talked about this before, like home ec, and my sister is in accounting. She was like, they need to learn money matters and all that kind of stuff. So by the time they graduate high school, they already know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But most of our kids graduate high school and have no clue what they want to do, and then they end up picking a major that they hate just because somebody told them, well, that's gonna make you some money, but they're not happy.
Yeah,
they're not happy, and then they end up not even working in that industry, with a degree. So
that's why I can't stand when people like, everybody should learn how to code. No, they shouldn't. No. You're watering down what took me 20 some years to build, and many other folks out here, because we had a real passion for it, just because, we'll make you some money. There's a lot of money in cybersecurity. Do you actually like it?
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's my thing with what I do. I love it. So, and I know it sounds cliche, but it doesn't feel like a job, because it's like breathing to me. And people tell me, even the parents, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how you do it with, all those kids. But I don't know how, I know how y'all do y'all job, but I would never. Like, I would, put a gun to my head. Like, I can't sit here and do this. Like, I'd be bored.
Right.
So this is where I thrive. You know what I mean? This is where I thrive. Just like somebody be like, Casey, there's no way I could do that. Like, it would drive me crazy to do with all those kids. I feel the same way about everybody else's job. You know what I mean?
No, for real. Like, man, everybody that's always said that when it doesn't feel like a job, that's where you need to be. And you find, and those people usually tend to find the next level of success in doing those things. Like, find the thing that you're passionate about, do it. The money will come.
Right.
At some point. But we got to stop focusing on the money part of it. Because honestly, man, when once we do, what we're starting to see in society that's focused on the money is you absolutely do get a watered down product. You get a bunch of abundance, you get a bunch of stuff, but no quality. It's a bunch of it. It's abundant, but it's not quality.
Right.
So we really got to refocus on it. But I definitely mean that when I say we need more Black people, facilitating early childhood education, and because it's going to drive things to the next level, man. Like having a preschool, and then those kids getting to go into preschool. But then, I mean, if you go into elementary school, like you said, that might be boring for those that had a good preschool.
Right.
Us as parents got to recognize, all right, make sure you got an extracurricular or something else for that kid, because school wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? School didn't do it for them. You know what I'm saying? So they need something else to get into.
Yep.
Keep the little jokers busy, man.
Yeah, and all parents don't put their children in preschool. To me, I don't think preschool is necessary. I think it's just extra, if you want to do it. But to me, it's not necessary, because a lot of parents teach their children what the preschools are teaching.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's not necessary, but somehow brains are trained that is daycare, preschool, then public school. I'm like, no, if your kid can stay home until they're 5 or, until you decide they go to school, they should stay home. You know what I mean? Like, the preschool ain't doing no better than what you doing or what you could
That's what I'm
do.
talking about.
But of course,
But then
gotta
you have to look at the non-educational pieces too, like social skills.
yeah.
Because
Well,
you
I
do
mean,
find that some
but
of those kids end up in like kindergarten
mhm.
and they don't know how to act because they ain't never been around nobody.
True, but I feel like that's with like the children that are like the one and dones, or you never take them to the park or you never take them to public places. But I feel like the parents that I do know that keep their children at home until public school or wherever they end up taking them, they socialize them. They take them to the parks, they take them to birthday parties, so, and then they talk to them. You know what I mean? So it's not like you just teaching them, academics, and then they don't know nothing else. But just it takes a parent who understands like what makes a child's brain tick to know exactly what to do with that child. So it's different.
Well, speaking of kids, we got a little social experiment. I'm gonna share that video. I'm gonna share the video with man. Listen, I watched it, yo. I was like, man, it does nothing but further prove a lot of the stuff we already think we know. I'm going to go ahead and hit play on the video. Let me make sure it's up.
It's up.
Okay, there we go. All right, man. This shit was wild to me, but it didn't surprise me one bit.
Left 10 boys to live alone for a week to see what they'd do.
What the hell? Why it stop? Hold on.
Without any adult supervision. The house was stocked with toys and a kitchen full of food, and the only adults around were the cameramen who didn't interfere. They wanted to find out how protective parents need to be over their children and see how dependent the children are on their parents. The boys aged 11 and 12 were all complete strangers, and it only took a few hours before the house was completely destroyed. They voted on a leader, lived off mostly sugary snacks, and it quickly turned into a Lord of the Flies type situation with a pecking order established. They ran the same experiment a year later, but this time with all girls, and they had the same conditions as the boys. All strangers, no adults, all under one roof. There wasn't nearly as much destruction, and all the girls moved into one single room. They took turns making proper meals for the group, divided chores, and all did their part around the house. But bullying eventually started, which led the girls to divide in factions and reside on different sides of the home. This social...
Man, look. See, that lets you know right there. At a very base level, girls and boys, women and men, we are what and who we are. This idea that we are the same, we're not. We gotta really understand we is fucking different, boy. We is fucking different. Like,
but that's still not necessarily biological. It's still social.
No, Sheffy, you don't really have to get into biology and go. So we're gonna
No. Okay, no, I'm not saying that we're exactly the same biologically. I'm saying that we don't have enough information, I think, as a society, to determine whether it's social or biological.
I think as a society,
let me explain. Hold on, let me explain. The reason being is our society has always existed in this patriarchal model.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna give you. So who do we what do we study outside of us to determine what else do we study? We study something else to figure out, is there a possible biological norm here? There's animals in general, not just apes. Yeah. Lions, wolves, apes, cats, insects, everyone that you study, all of them, the vast majority, they have more similarities than differences. I'm just saying,
and that's fair. That's fair. But when you add in
the social stuff, now hold on. Let me give the social aspect credit. when there are, so we have biological markers. What from what I understand and what I'm seeing, and I'm not a professional and I don't know all this stuff. When the social aspect comes into it, it either influences biological. It can influence biological change, which will recode our genetics, right? So if you throw, because why when we discussed that the slave syndrome thing that we talked about, those are things that are now genetic because a social new norm was instituted, so your offspring develop certain traits. So if you go back, so at some point, I'm not saying social has nothing to do with it, but I do think it's a major impact. I think we just got to look at our biology and say, how do we socially enforce the things that we find valuable and worthwhile, and then how do we socially condition or recondition the things that we know are problematic? I think, you know what I'm saying? But we also got to remember, when there is a biological imperative, we can't totally override that, because you cannot stop a pit bull from wanting to be aggressive. The scariest thing is when people say, oh, that pit ain't gonna bite nobody, and then he bite off a little girl's face for trying to tickle her brother. Because that pit, deep down, no matter how much you trained it or know how to, that pit want to shake the shit out of something, and it wants to lock its jaws. Like it's in them deep down somewhere, and you always got to be aware of it. So, but with the boys and girls out there, I love seeing this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they do? They got their ass in the kitchen where all women need to be, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Get your ass in the kitchen.
But see, that's why I think it's social. Because if you, I would be curious to learn the backgrounds of these little girls. And I'd be curious to learn the backgrounds of these little boys.
But girls are naturally more organized, and they just socialize. Like that's a natural thing for them to list, organize, and say, all right, we're gonna come together socially, and we're gonna try to do something normal. Boys, they like party, nigga. That's what we gonna do. Man, you leave them in there long enough, close the doors, and let them grow up. Now this is gonna go dark. Then boys will start fucking each other eventually. I mean, it would, like, I'm just saying, it's bad, but you let them grow in that environment, they'll look at each other like meat. You know what I'm saying? We're so animalistic. I'm just saying, my bad, y'all. That went a little dark. I'm sorry.
It was. I'd be curious to see, like, if they chose kids that came from a background that didn't have certain training. Like, if you chose girls that came from rich homes where they didn't have to cook, would you have the same outcome? If you chose girls that came from really poor homes where, you know, they're mostly eating McDonald's and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, would things be the same? If you gathered a bunch of boys who had engineers as dads, would it be the same? I'd be curious to see things like that. But when you, like, I mean, because it feels nuanced. You see very similar races. I probably have very similar socioeconomic backgrounds, which would lead there to be certain levels of socialization that have already happened. So it's almost like, here's what we think is going to happen because here's the background these kids came from. Versus if it was something a little bit more pointed, like we're specifically looking at the effects of poor living conditions and how that changes say decision making. Because if you have a bunch of children who come from, like, a bunch of foster kids, and you put them in that same environment, I would think a bunch of foster boys in that same environment would actually be similar to the girls.
Yeah.
So things like that. That's all I'm saying. Some of it's social. Yes, boys are going to be more likely to do those things. But when you consider that girls are usually socialized to be demure and organized and all of these things that y'all think come natural, and some of it does, but some of it's also a whole bunch of women with undiagnosed ADHD. I don't know. I'd just be curious to see a little bit more from the study than just basing it women and men are from men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Not to say that we're similar necessarily. I'd just be wanting to see, do socioeconomic stressors change this?
Oh, of course, but you're right. They do. They do. You know what I'm saying? You made a good point. If those boys came from dads that was engineers and the girls came, absolutely, you would see some differences, especially if you grab all of them from the same background. Or if you make sure, like I would like to know if this study grabbed different kids from different homes. So maybe they come from the same socioeconomic background, but what do their parents do? Like which kids' parents are teachers, which kids has a stay-at-home mom, which kid had a dad that stayed at home, which kids come up from the gay parents, which kid comes from, like, grab them all from these different worlds and see what happens. What I do know, and and kids influence each other real fast. Like the influence real fast, and especially even if you are a kid and you come from a very grounded, disciplined, orderly background, when you see a bunch of boys over there turning up, man, that shit look fun, don't it? So like,
that's what? How it was when I left the church and went to college.
No, we don't want to hear about that.
I was wild in my freshman year.
That's why that inbox went the way it went the other day, and Sam was ready to get out of there because you went to college and you never looked back. God damn, Chef. Damn, Chef. Damn. Turn out. But I think, yeah, I get my science brain and I want to give all credit to science, but there's definitely, I would love to see, we might need to run this experiment. Who house gonna be tore up? So we gotta volunteer.
Airbnb.
Yeah, we gotta volunteer.
Extra cleaning fee.
Yeah, we gotta volunteer a space and put them kids together, with a camera crew and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, I can sponsor it. I'm a sociologist, and we can
yeah
for human subjects.
I
But
mean, I know
I'd be curious to see that, because I'm willing to bet you put a bunch of kids from the hood in there, girls in. I don't think any of them would tear up the house like that. I don't think either side would. You got a bunch of black kids from socioeconomically stressed neighborhoods. I don't think either girls or boys will tear up that house like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think so I think you're gonna see some freestyling. You're gonna see some twerking. For real.
You're gonna see a whole lot of hair, some
everybody gonna be doing each other's hair,
lashes.
The boys gonna fight. Boys are still gonna fight. Like, that's just what we do. We gonna
somebody gonna sneak some weed in.
Yeah. Those boys are gonna see boys. We're gonna try to establish who's toughest and who's the most daring. So the house might not get rode on, but we're gonna jump down the stairs. We're gonna jump over the banisters. We're gonna hang down. We're gonna do some of that, absolutely. Because I mean, I grew up with brothers, so I can tell you for a fact that we listen, how that house made it. You know what I'm saying? There were doors hanging off the hinges and holes got put in the wall from us wrestling and fighting. So, but it's not gonna be so intentional. The writing on the wall and stuff like that. Yeah, right. I don't know if we would have did that much, but I thought this was a cool thing to do, man. Like, that's cool, man. This needs to be done with every group, with a lot of groups, and I think this is something we can learn from.
Yeah, like, I don't think the Asian kids would tear up the house either.
Nah, I don't think so. See, I don't think so. You saying this is white?
They'd be somewhere they done built something.
So you say this is white people shit? That's what you're trying to say?
I didn't say that.
You didn't want to say it. let me. Casey, can you say it for us?
Some Caucasian shit. It's Caucasian.
I mean, because I guess the disrespect of other people's property like that is just, it's not typical.
Yeah.
You know what got me when the video started? When they was like, they were put in the house with food and they showed. I said, that ain't no food. That's junk food. Them kids about to go crazy.
Yeah, all that sugar.
Yeah, that's crack. That was they set them kids up.
But you saw the girls, but the girls started cooking. See,
Cooking, yeah.
the girls said, "Okay, we got to have something other than the sugar."
I mean, you
Right.
see little boy sitting there eating a Frosted Flakes
Yeah.
out the doggone box.
Right.
Sir, where's the milk?
They filling the drawers up with Coca-Colas. Like, I need my Coke next to me. When
Yeah. Like, what was that? I gotta turn over and be able to pop one. Oh my god.
And you know what? You know that was in the South then. That's how it was in the South.
God. Yeah.
Listen,
Oh,
I'm
the
be
Coca-Colas
honest,
everywhere?
man. Look, so one of the things now looking back at it, when I was in my early teens and me and my brothers made some money and we would go to the store after we made all our money cutting grass, we make one little shopping spree. And so I'd get my boxes of my cakes and my bags of my chips, and I couldn't wait to go home and put them in my top drawer. I got my snack drawer. I got my drinks. I didn't do, but man, it was. I got my Cheetos over there. I got this over there, man. I'm living life. I thought life was good right now. I'm like this. I don't need nothing no better than this. It can't get better than this. It can't get better than this. Nah, I couldn't do that shit if I wanted to. I'd be so disgusted.
Right.
I want to go smoke me a damn brisket and something and give me a beer. What the hell I'm gonna do with all them goddamn snacks? And like, no, I don't want that. So
and then the bullying amongst the girls.
Yeah, that's funny.
I see that just be that would just be a whole fight. Ain't no bullying. You about to get, Keisha about to whip your behind.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But it's funny how both groups naturally like tried to like set up a hierarchy. Like,
of course.
Whether they was bullying or not, it was just to somebody got to lead this motherfucker. So we got to figure out who is and who the strongest and go from there. But I feel like if you had a group of like Sheffy said, like different groups of people or kids or whatever, but if you had a group who were taught from, I feel like, birth, like a sense of self and like confidence and stuff like that, that wouldn't have happened. Like they would have been able to coexist and like read each other, like your strengths are here, your strengths are here, let's all do they it would have been it would, like how the girls started off, it would have ended off, I feel like, if you had like the right group of children that were kind of like raised right.
I think this needs, I'm telling y'all, I think this needs to be
it needs to get explored more
again, and it needs to get it. The only thing that needs to stay the same is the environment. You can put the sugar there, you put the real food there, the camera crew, but the only thing you change is the participants, and you get really selective. Who are we going to select to see how they would interact more? So that this will be a good thing to duplicate over and over and over and over again from different backgrounds, because you can give parents some really good feedback. All right, let me show you what your motherfucking kid was doing in the turn up in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because parents would learn. Like, you might get vindicated as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your kid, when they go off, they do better than what they do at home. They go off somewhere and they're like, all right, I've been prepared for this. Let me do what my mom and dad said, because I'm in a new environment. I got you'd be surprised. So I think this needs to be done over. We need to do this.
So you saying we need a reality TV show?
Yeah, we need this. We need to do this exact same. We just need somebody's house. I think so too. I think Sam's house is definitely the one, because he's in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta.
That's Decatur. That's the deck.
Yeah, man. Bring. I mean, we can use ours. Ours got the square footage for it, but we can use ours. I can tell Brianna. I'm gonna show this video to Bri and see what she want to do. See that she want to let some kids.
I'd really want to see like foster kids.
Yeah, like give me
10, 11-year-old foster kids that have been raised in the system the entire time. What would they do?
Yeah. What would they do?
I think it would be very different from this.
Yep. Get us some kids. Get us the mom and dad kids. Get us the single parent kids. Get us the private school kids. Get us some homeschool kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, throw them in there, man. Boy, what, man?
It'd be different, man.
It'd be different.
It'd be very different.
It'd be different. Or you know what? All this pontificating, and we find out all these little bastards bad. All of them just bad. All of them gonna turn.
I mean, when you look at all these middle schools and high schools across the country are saying you can't come to a football game unless your mom and daddy with you.
Man,
it kind of is all
so unfortunate. What's so unfortunate with taking Eli to these schools, when I send him to schools and they shut games down because these kids is fighting, somebody done brought a weapon. And I feel so bad for him and his peer group, And most of them are going to just have a good time. All it takes is one or two knuckleheads, and everything is shut down, and all the kids gotta go, and they be so disappointed. Like I've dropped him off at a game, and 15 minutes had to go back and pick him up. And on that ride back, he's pissed off, and he's like, I don't understand why they can't act like they got some sense. Like he is frustrated that his night is now over with. It's a Friday night and I got to go back home and sit with these grown people. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was out the house. Put on my clothes. I done got fresh to smell good. I got to make that call and come back and get it. Damn, that's frustrating. Mm-hmm. And we never had that happen. All the years and all the football games and all that never happened. And we was in an era. We was in an era of thugs. I don't know how that never happened. How?
Like because everybody knew there was a time and a place. Like I talked about this in one of my classes today, and I was like, because somebody talked about the why can't you go downtown here? And they were like, well, because it's a crime. And I'm like, no, it's the teenagers. Because they typically have weapons and they fighting and all kind of other craziness. It's not even the grown folks down there. It's the teenagers. I said they go to the mall and do the same thing. And I said, it's funny because when we were kids, we would go to the mall and fight too. But we fight in the bathroom. We didn't fight out in the open in front of grown folk. Because we had enough respect for grown folk to not let them see what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been plenty. We done took somebody in the bathroom and roughed them up real quick, and then came on out and continued our shopping because it wasn't a thing that needed to be seen. It needed to happen because sis disrespected me and let me handle it, but it didn't need to be seen. Versus nowadays with social media, everything has to be seen. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got people telling on themselves for committing for federal check fraud. Because you just got to show everybody. And I think that's part of the problem with these kids. What the fights that used to happen in the bathroom or under the bleachers, they not doing it in the middle of the stands because they want to be seen. They want a viral moment.
It's incentivized.
Yes. It's incentivized to be an idiot out in the open.
And that's the dark side of social media. Is that it rewards the most idiotic and ignorant behaviors, and people dumb themselves down purposely. I believe majority of them they do it just so that they can receive the reward of likes and views, and maybe if they get enough views, they'll be monetized. So they do the most outrageous stuff, with the end goal of being viral.
Yep.
And that's a currency for kids. Hell, for some adults, but it's a bigger problem with kids because that's their popularity contest.
I thought about this, and somebody posted the other day, about y'all boy. What's that boy's name? Shamar. What's the boy name? The question mark looking dude. The dude built like a question mark.
Wow. Shamar.
Yeah. And the lady was saying, he went from homeless to now, he was, I don't know if y'all saw, he was performing for a crowd or something, like rapping. Mm-hmm. I don't, whatever. And she was saying only in America, could you go from homeless to that? And she was being positive. And I came on there being my negative self, and I just had to be honest. I said, yeah, because we reward degeneracy. I'm like, look at what he does. His behavior. The degenerate behavior. We like to watch a train wreck. And I'm like, now, we should enjoy the train wreck being real trains. Things that have accidents and they're man-made, but they don't have a conscience. But things that we're human beings and with a conscience, and we will sell out for a payday. my whole thought on that, and me and Sam had a conversation last night. What would you do? A real interest in what would you do? And boy, he asked me a question. I don't even know how I put it out here, but anyway. But for the right price, what would you say? So I'll tell you one of the ones he asked me. Here you go. He said, I said, man, for 25 mil. I said, if somebody said, we're gonna give you a bag, but you gotta come out right now and say, black women suck, white women supreme, I love women suck, and I gotta stand on it. I said, God, I said, ooh, I said, what the bag look like? I said, what does the bag look like? And he said, I said, listen, for me to do that and say it with enough chest to where it's believed, I'd have to sit down with all the black women. I'd have to sit down with my daughters. I'd have to sit down with my wife. I got to sit down with my kinfolk, my folk that know me. And I got to say, hey, y'all, y'all about to see something. It's me. I said it. But they ran me a bag. You know what I'm saying? I really sold my soul. And I said,
only if you sharing.
That's what I said. The only way I could justify that is if I took that money and it turned around and benefited those same people that I said something. You know what I'm saying? That's the only. But I'm like, but man, I would be sick, to have to like, and so people don't even need that payday to say some of this stuff that I don't believe they actually believe. But to say something incendiary, to post something incendiary, or to do something crazy, yes, it's monetizable now to the point where everybody's trying to do it just to get the money. And what's also, I'll say this, what's unfortunate about that too, there are those of us that are just incendiary people. We talk shit the way we talk shit, and we don't do it because for the likes, for the like somebody, I shared something the other day that Saucy wrote, and y'all tore her up. And a lot of people were saying that she's saying, but a lot of people were saying that she said it the way she said it for monetary. I'm like, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I've been Facebook friends with her for years. For years when she was just a regular blogger. And she's been saying stuff the same way for a long time. Sometimes people have a delivery mechanism that is naturally their delivery mechanism. It's not because it might get monetized, but their natural delivery mechanism is that. I say some crazy shit, and it's not because I want it to be monetized. I just say what I say in the way that I say it, and then I'll catch myself like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of terrible the way that I said that. So that's the problem with monetization, is now we think everything is being done specifically with the purpose of, I'm going to do it and say it like that to monetize.
It's not necessarily that it was specifically done with that purpose so much as it was like,
it was incendiary on purpose. It was incendiary on purpose,
right?
But not the monetizing part. That's what I'm saying.
No, the monetizing part can be that too.
But there's no way to know if that's what the person has always been doing. There's no way to know that. Oh,
there's
they
plenty
did it.
way to know. There's
How?
plenty way to know. Ask her. Shit.
I mean, well, yeah, you can ask. You say, hey, did you say it like that to monetize? You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, what you find a lot of people have realized is, oh wait, the way I am, the way I speak, I can make money off of it. Okay. So instead of,
if that's already you, that's cool, right?
So before social media, yes. But when the monetization became part of it, it's hard to decipher whether what your purpose is for.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, for me, I say lots of incendiary things. I haven't went viral yet. Don't care to go viral. Don't care about none of that.
Same thing.
I don't have my posts being public so you can share them. There does come a point where you are saying, okay, well, since I am the way I am, let me make money doing it. And you purposely putting your post public so they can be shared, because everybody gonna get upset with what you just said. Versus just say what you say, stand on it and go. That's what I do. I drop what I'm gonna drop. I don't care about no likes. I don't care about no hearts. I may not even come back to that post if don't nobody tag me or even comment. If I don't get a notification on that post, I probably never see that post again. So it's all in. I think it's all in the engagement. If I'm engaging with my timeline just to engage with my timeline, that's one thing. If I'm engaging with my timeline with the purposes of potentially going viral so that I can also make some money on who I am in that instance, then that's a whole nother thing.
I think it's a little. I mean, I see what you're saying. I think it's if it's as long as you're not altering your natural state, whether you choose to benefit from it financially or not, I'm okay with it. If you are altering your natural state, that's when I'm like, all right, because yes, I can say way worse stuff than I say.
We'll just child been hollering for an hour.
And stuff that I don't remotely believe. And then say, all right, well, I'm gonna say that. Like I said, the example I gave, I gotta say
like Derek Jackson.
Yeah, oh man, him. Oh my God. Yeah, like you don't believe it, you don't practice it, you ain't about that life.
That man was terrible.
Absolutely. Okay.
Everybody scream black.
What's that?
Everybody scream black.
Because everybody else turned their camera off, so I turned mine on.
Mine back on.
I'm eating.
Me too.
And you ugly too. You eating and you no, he eating and ugly. It's a combination of the two. It's not. It's not. It's
Hater.
Not. Yeah, man. Of course. We've been doing this all our life. We'll never. I'll never say that nigga handsome ever in life. We'll never give each other that credit. All right. So there's one more subject I want to tap into real quick, and this comes from this comes from our inbox conversation.
Oh Lord.
What you eating, Sam?
My daughter made an Alfredo.
It ain't was in the inbox. I tell you that.
Yeah. Hold on. So I got a question for the panel, and anybody listening, and we're gonna this probably gonna be a good little segment to chop up. Can the bedroom
Yes.
be defiled?
No.
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 Hey.
Sam.
So, man, I'm look, man.
Not between two consenting adults.
Okay. Not between. Okay, so I'm gonna add that part to the question between two consenting adults. Okay. Yeah, I gotta put consent in there. Thank you, man. Because somebody would have been like, "You can't take children in the bedroom, Diddy." I'd have been a Diddy. I'd have Diddy the hell out of my ass on this. Yeah, man. Hey, you for real, man. So I don't know if it's.
Put some lavender, baby.
Huh?
Talk to Sheffy. She said,
"Oh,
they put some lavender. Put them to sleep."
I'm about to.
So I don't know. I don't know if I don't know which way I really lean on it. In some ways, I say no, it can't be defiled, right? But I do believe in the semantics, the definition of perversion. But I'm like, if you're being perverse with your consenting, significant other, the person that you with, again, so is everything a go or no? And you know what I'm saying? I tend to. I don't want to kink shame. I don't want to make people feel bad.
Sam
but
does.
You say who?
Sam does.
But there are certain things that. So in the video we watched, and then Chef, you kind of talked about fisting, and if anybody don't know what fisting is, it's when a person takes.
How you just gonna put me on blast like that? No,
so
Diddy.
We were talking about fisting, right? So fisting is when a person, man or woman, inserts their fist into nether regions. All right. That's just one example. Is that defiling? I'm like,
What did he say? He said it was deviant or I know he said demonic, and it was one other thing he said.
He said demonic for sure, but
it's defiling if the person don't want to be fisted. I mean, because a big old baby come out of women's vaginas. I mean, a fist ain't as big as a baby. I mean, I ain't saying I like fisting or nothing.
Yeah. Look at her. Look at that disclaimer. She like a fist. She like, well, I mean, I remember a time, but
wow.
No.
Like, okay, I'm
just
saying. I'm gonna put a little bit of my business out there just one time in my life. I remember me and somebody had this conversation, and I got big hands. But we had a conversation about it, and this lady said, "I wonder if we could do it." And I was like, I said, "No, I don't think it's a good idea." And her thing was like, "Well, you can't go in with the fist, but if you go in this way and make the fist in there, we should be fine." So I was like, "All right, you know what I'm saying? Warm things up and let's just see." And I went, and then I tried to make the fist, and it didn't go the way it didn't go. That booger said, She said, "I felt something pop. I don't know." She said, "Oh no!" Like so. Then we kind of just thought about it. I'm like, there must be a long process to getting this to where what it looks like in pornography. Like when somebody can more so easily do it. And that and so that's where the defiling comes, because like, how much work do you gotta do to stretch an orifice, butt or y'all's? Because if it's a dude and he getting fisted, there's only one way you can fist a dude. Yeah, only one way.
Yeah.
And if a woman, I don't give a damn how big or small her fist is, a woman sticking her fist in your Duke shooter, bro. I'm like, bro.
You know what? I've never seen it done. I've never been one for porn for some reason. It never turned me on. But I bet they were on painkillers. Like, I bet they numbed the area. You know what I mean?
Something.
Because like you said, like, ain't no way that feels good or comfortable, but they making it look that way. And so I'm thinking in my head, like, she probably got to be really relaxed, really turned on, all the things. But still, they don't make a fist go, you know what I mean? Go. So they probably on painkillers, and they selling this fantasy to people, making it you think it's real and it can happen. Now now them people probably got all kind of injections to numb that area.
Or now I will say, like I said, I don't like the kink shame. There's a small group of people that
it's literally just practice.
Yeah, they practice it, and they like the pain. They like the extreme. Like, people, man, look, when
it's
people
not necessarily painful.
I mean, for those. I mean, for those. Wait, hold on, Chef. Come back on screen.
Wait,
how you know?
It all went.
So I know lots of people who do it.
Oh,
it's not painful.
They just practice enough to the point where it becomes pleasurable.
Yeah, it's no different than your size queens. They didn't start off being size queens.
There was a dude that told me a while ago. I never forget this, and I'm not joking. This dude told me a while ago he had a friend that was missing a hand, and he used to bang chicks with the nub. I swear. No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I think Chris told me that. Chris Elder. I think he told me he had a buddy that used to bang chicks with his nub.
So he was wristing.
Yeah, wristing her.
I can't stand either one, y'all. Y'all see Casey that left the whole dog call.
Yeah, man. I mean, and hey. She look at her.
I mean, you got to think. If you go to like a toy store, they have things in various sizes, and that's what they do. They start in different sizes and go up from there.
But you will probably have to do that like regularly because like
yeah.
I mean, like when I say regularly, I mean like weekly, like a couple times a week, right?
Yeah,
get
that's exactly what they do.
Okay.
So same. So and Sheffy,
Talking about like sleeping in it, walking in them, whole shebang.
So and you don't. You're on the side of. I mean, definitions are what they are. That if a man is doing it and his woman is doing it with him, he still is straight.
Yes.
No, okay, he's okay. No, see, no, he ain't straight. As a straight person, I'm gonna speak for the straight people.
No, he's
not
straight. The only thing that makes him gay is if he wants a man to do it.
Yeah. So here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. He's not gay, but he ain't straight. He's something else. You know, I have that little black hole, that gray area that I drop people into. The gray area that I drop people into as a straight man, as the straight man, we get to say, and bruh, letting the woman ram her fist in your Duke shooter, that's not straight behavior. Look at he done had to go. He done had to walk away. He done had to walk away so he could.
No, I gotta go get my daughter.
Oh,
from work.
All right, so here's a question then, if that's the case. So we know it's pretty common to do like a rusty trombone, right? Or a I forget what it's called, but while in the midst of fellatio, there may be certain twinkling digits in certain areas. Does that also fall into that gray area? It should, if that's the case, because if penetration of that area,
when a man gets penetrated, so here's straight. When a man gets penetrated, it starts to veer. You start to veer, and the more extreme you go, you start to. Now, gay is all the way the other way, but when you straight, when you allow penetration, I start to question.
What is the that erogenous zone there for then?
Hey, look, and that's
thank you, Casey.
Hey, there's a lot of erogenous zones that we love to have explored that ain't got nothing to do with me being penetrated.
But I'm saying, but that's one of them. So why was it created? Why is it there? Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's say, for instance, it's there and it's never used. What was the point of it? What was the point?
I mean, hey, it's like earlobes. What's the point of earlobes other than for earrings? We don't need them. We don't need earlobes. You know what I'm saying? You can chop these. We could chop these motherfuckers. They're useless. Earlobes are absolutely useless things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just reaching here. It's and that's where I lean. Reaching. And that's why I lean the other way. We all have erogenous zones that are so it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Now here's the thing though. The other part of that erogenous zone area to where a man don't got to be penetrated is there's the perineum. The woman can massage and touch around that area, and then you ain't got to be jabbed or stabbed or
being
prodded.
Jabbed anally is not what makes somebody gay.
So what?
I'm not saying.
In that case,
I'm not saying makes
it exam. They gay. They're officially.
That's right. Medical. That's a medical necessity. It's different.
But somebody still put a man.
First of all, get you a woman. Get a woman to do it. 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 But however, that's a medical necessity.
No, it's not.
That ain't for play.
And sex is a medical necessity as well.
Yeah, but we do that recreationally. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying.
No, but it's literally a medical necessity. Sex is necessary for your body.
But I'm saying but a prostate exam is not recreational in any way, shape, or form.
It could be if you like that sort of thing.
No, see, now you don't make. See, that's gay. See, at that point, yeah, you gay. Like, come on, bro. You showed up to the male doctor's office to get your prostate exam for fun.
You want me to bend across like this?
Yeah.
He put his legs up like that.
So I'm telling you, a man allowing that really, like I said, it's an area, and I know it's a taboo, and I don't like the kink shame, but I'm like, bro, it's questionable, man. It's questionable.
It's not. Okay, I'll tell you why it's not questionable. Would you have the same response? Okay, so say for instance you wearing a blindfold, right? And you're getting hit. How do you know if it's a man or a woman?
Oh, you don't. You might not.
Would you not?
I mean,
Doubtfully.
I don't know. I've never had head from a man, so I don't know what the difference is, and I'll never find out. So there's that. But yeah, you might not know.
But that's what I'm saying.
I
You
can't
won't
say.
know. So that's why you can't say just penetration makes you this or that. Because if by that definition, just getting head from a man would make you gay.
So hold on. No, getting head from a man definitely makes you gay.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it definitely makes you gay. Period. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is penetration. I'm not saying it makes you gay.
Point.
I'm saying you're no longer as straight as you were before. When you are straight, there's certain things you don't play with. The moment you get penetrated, your straightness becomes there's an asterisk to it. Straight.
Okay,
like
so is there an asterisk? Is there an asterisk as a straight man when you start having anal sex with your woman?
No, because that's your woman. You penetrating her. You doing stuff to her. Everything you do to her, with her.
But you can do stuff to a man and use the same hole too, right?
No, but that's not a man. But it's when you get penetrated. See, the shifting is when you get.
Stop trying to bend the line, Sheffy.
Yeah, she like to do this. When you allow yourself as a man to get penetrated, you have allowed the opposite of the way we're built to do. You've allowed that to be flipped on you. Hey, bro.
But that's not necessarily a gay thing, I think, so much as it.
I'm not saying it's gay.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish.
Straight.
That's more dominant submission than sexuality based.
And it ain't straight. I'm saying I'm questioning your straightness if you allowing yourself to be penetrated. Listen, straight men, we can question that. We the gatekeepers on that. We gatekeepers.
God. Hey man.
Sam, yeah,
nigga can't ride in my car no more. That nigga can't get in my car no more.
What if he let his woman strap him? He can't get in the car no more.
No, we're associates now.
Damn. So if I came to you and told you, hey man, I ain't gonna even lie, man. I let Bree put me on the spike. I let her put me on the spike.
And you remember on New Jack City when Nino was on the rooftop with G Money?
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, that one teardrop. Hey man,
gotta let me go. Hey man, I let Bree strap me, man. It just and I liked it, man. Just CMB. Oh man.
Gotta release you, man.
But can the bedroom be defiled? Saying can it go undefiled? I kind of believe that. Hey man, I still don't believe that's defiling between two people. I might not think you straight no more. I might not think you as straight as you were before, but I don't. Because it's hard to say, man, between two people that love each other and they want to indulge in whatever fantasies they want to indulge in between the two of them. I don't know where to draw that line for those two consenting adults.
Man.
Go ahead and cook, Rev.
Y'all already know that I'm super conservative. So anything outside of the norm.
He's a missionary. Missionary, I'm on top. I kiss you first. Man, y'all ain't gonna make my boy seem boring like that. Hold on, man.
Close your eyes. You can't look at me directly in my eyes.
Oh man, they finna cook you. Oh damn, see they gonna
That's
cook
too
you.
Much love right there.
You got three freaks on here, man. They gonna cook. You gonna get cooked up. Everybody.
We're trying to get back to the house, man. I can't say what.
I'm trying to get back to the house.
Sarah, right here.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Well, about Sesame Street, what was we saying?
You can hurry me back to the house, boy. So Casey, you okay? You're okay with a dude wanting a little penetration? That wouldn't be a problem.
I'm not doing it. I'm not into it. Like I said, it got to be agreed.
But what if it was your? What if it was your? What if it was your dude? Like, what if you and your dude, y'all together, y'all going strong for a good minute, and he says, you know what? Hey, I ain't never had it done, but I'm a little interested
in
that.
Why you gotta say it in that voice, like Michael Jackson? Hey, I ain't never had
hey, babe. Hey, I'm interested. Say, I know you ain't into it, but I want to experience it. And so, would you be willing? I mean, would you be willing?
No, I'm not. No. Okay, so here's my thing. I don't have no problem with what anybody does, man, woman, woman, in the privacy of their own home, whatever. Their sex life that's on them. But I'm not into that. So you can't make me want to be into that. Now, no, ain't no, ain't no variation. I'm trying to think of different variation. No, I don't want to be near nobody ass. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't. No.
But you love him and y'all been together and y'all got a future together. Y'all already
Do you know what
started
comes
on y'all
out of there? No.
Yeah,
no.
but you love him and y'all already on y'all future. Y'all already on y'all trajectory.
No, to me, I don't know how you get that thing clean enough for me to go near it. Like,
so what do you so what does he have to do then?
Even with a gloved hand, no.
So what does he have to do then? So what does he have to do then in order? Like he wants to have that experience.
If it's me, he better ask his side piece.
Yeah, he married the wrong person.
Damn. So he gotta get a divorce or cheat or what do you gotta do?
He gotta get a divorce.
I give him a pass.
Yeah, because
Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back.
So I give him a pass.
I don't do submissive men of any sort, and I find that sort of thing. I don't care whether you're a man or another woman. I find that thing very submissive because you have to suspend certain math. Ain't no pop up later. You either who you are or you ain't hiding.
No. We know.
That's what I'm saying, because we need to have that talk before we get married. I need to know, do you like butt stuff?
But maybe they didn't like it in year 1. Maybe in year 12.
Then how did they figure out they liked it?
I don't know. Maybe they don't even like it. Maybe they just have an interest in exploring it.
No, they can not explore it with me. I can tell you that. I don't do
so
it.
How do they explore it then if they can't explore it with you?
They better cheat, I guess.
You said they better
do it by themselves.
Dildo or something.
They can put the rolls.
Okay. Now y'all giving solutions. Okay, that's a good one. Now,
I mean,
now dig this. Y'all just said a little dildo. So y'all, you in your man space or whatever, and you see, and he forget, and he accidentally leave his dildo, his butt toy out, and you see it. How do you respond to that?
Nigga, what's this? Is
it clean? What's that smell?
Nigga got booty big in his draw.
What's that?
There's a video going around of this girl. She was talking to her man. I think he was killing a spider or something. He bent over and she bent over and snapped. She said, "She got you. You got on a thong." Ooh. Like they had a whole conversation. But she's like, "Why are you wearing a thong?" Ooh. He told me it's more comfortable.
What?
And she like, "Sir, don't play with me."
Ooh. Ooh.
So Sam, you was gonna cook earlier, man. You know, we know you just it's real basic with you, man. They was getting on you. They were lighting you up. They got jokes talking about Mr. Missionary. They want me to change your name in the queue. They want to change it. They want me to change your name in the queue to the missionary man. I can edit your name to missionary Sam.
The evangelist. Man, look, I put it in simplest terms.
Tell us heathens how it is.
Yes.
When I say I'm conservative, I say I'm vanilla with chocolate chips.
Is that poop?
No.
Damn.
I'm like, is that nipples?
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip. How about that? Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip. That sounds like throw up.
I know.
You like nigga in the
You
face.
in the scat? You in the scat, nigga? What the hell going on? But you better
No,
be real
scat is
clear.
poop.
Right,
But that's mint. That's the mint color right there. Hey, a little green. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
damn the analogy. All right, so y'all niggas know what I'm talking about.
No, we don't. You lost us.
Yeah.
No, well, like because when you now I gotta explain that analogy. It don't work like okay, so
Y'all done frustrated the missionary man.
mint chocolate chip
Y'all gotta be choking.
outside of the mint it's just a basic flavor. But when you add the mint, you have a slight variety to what's basic. So when I'm saying I'm conservative, I'm not just
You're basic with variety. You would say,
yeah.
I'm basic with a little bit of variety. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
So you do a
I'm
one
not
leg up missionaries, basically.
Yeah. One leg
What you
up.
say?
He do nipple twisters.
Yeah, one leg up. One leg up. You know, from the bike. He eat from the bike. You know what I'm saying? He keep
If you do it from the back, she has to be on all fours.
Yeah.
No arches.
Can't look
no
back.
arches. No arches
No
whatsoever.
You gotta be bent up like that.
Like a scaredy cat.
If that the case, I would have had a white woman.
Oh man. That's so bad.
Terrible.
That is funny.
So
But
he can look at you in your eyes.
Do a little lifting, shoulder work. Don't work out.
Do some legs. Do leg day.
Leg
Gotta hold her up.
I told you leg day every day when you top heavy.
Oh, here we go with this bullshit. But so the bedroom, you still believe the bedroom can be defiled?
It can. I mean, that's due to my faith.
Yeah.
Purely my faith. If I wasn't a man of faith, then would I be the same way? Yeah, I'd be the same way. I'm just a
R&B nigga.
Yeah.
The Nehu nigga.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. I want to say I want to be loved.
Oh, I want to fuck. The hell you talking about? Nope. I'm very explicit. Listen. I'm very explicit around the house. Like I don't be running around talking. Hey, let's make love this evening. I'm like, I'm on some of that buzz later. You know what I'm saying? I'll be very loud and discreet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you know what I want. Like I ain't trying to love. Yeah, that's part of it. But let's be clear. That buzz, you know what I'm saying? That jaw, you know what I'm saying? That mouth, all of the things, all of them, gross. All the gross things. I want the gross things.
No, because
I've gotten beyond the point of making love. Like,
So define defile. What's defiling the bed?
in my definition,
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely not bringing other people. I mean, that's to me that's bringing other people in.
Okay.
Honestly, that's about it. But
so as long as you're not bringing in other people, you good.
Yeah, but
okay.
But this is me personally. If a nigga allow any booty play, he's been defiled.
Yeah.
He's allowed himself to
you
be
have
defiled.
you have been defiled. You've been defiled, brother. By your woman.
You're a victim.
Wow.
Call the number up on the screen.
Yeah.
You've experienced trauma.
Do you need help? Do you need someone to talk to?
Look, don't let her tell you she love you.
Yeah. He said, you've experienced trauma.
Oh man.
You've been done wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, but What about the medical benefits of prostate manipulation?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
milking of the prostate is a thing that has been,
It
and
decreases
honestly,
all your chances of prostate
yeah,
cancer by significant amount.
hey
well,
man,
and it gets that. So no, for real. No,
I
there's
was
science
shit.
behind this for real. It's like because
Mhm.
men technically, like, we should ejaculate at minimum like once a week because our sperm
Mhm.
starts to degrade at a certain level. But then they also go further to say that milking of the prostate get all the back degradation. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to reproduce anymore,
Mhm.
but for those of y'all trying to reproduce, y'all don't want to shoot degraded sperm into your old lady. A lot of men, they think pregnancy all falls on their virility, and their virility is just based on them not smoking weed and drinking alcohol. There's a lot more that goes to your virility, and it does have to do with healthy ejaculate. Um, I don't know the science on it or anything like that. I just know the idea of having a prostate that does regularly get emptied is a real thing. Is healthier for you.
Yep.
Now, ain't no woman finna stick nothing in me to milk my goddamn. I don't give a damn.
Mhm.
How many years is it gonna save me? I'm gonna live to see shit. Ooh, I will not shit. I will bite your finger. I will bite your finger. I will bite your finger all the way off. Bite her finger all the way off to the nub.
Oh,
What is
God.
wrong with you? She just tried to
I'm,
penetrate us
I'm
on
not
camera,
doing it. I'm
Sam.
just
No, that
just
was
no.
you. That was a violation.
Oh no, I never do that. Mm-mm. Ugh.
I've actually known women in spaces that
Yeah.
have been what do they call them, dominatrixes, that have performed on men, and it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, CBT is definitely a thing.
Mm.
You know what CBT stands for, Sam?
No, I don't. What's the stand for?
Cock and ball torture, buddy. Cock and ball torture.
What?
Cock
Ouch.
and
Who
ball
comes up with
torture.
this stuff?
You know who come
The
up with
people,
it,
the
and
people
you know
who
what
say
they
the C
know.
word.
No, yeah. There you go. You know who come up with that. There's
The
one
white
group. There's one group. Yeah, come on. Let's keep it real. Ain't no
Well,
black people. No,
no,
we did not make that up. There's no in Rome. In
I
Rome,
wasn't
they
saying that.
some. Yeah. I'm saying in Rome they started that. That ain't us. That ain't
I
from us,
mean, if
bro.
you look at how sadism became a thing, the Marquis de Sade,
Yep.
that's where the term comes from. It's an actual person
He was off
who
the
would
chain,
inflict
boy.
pain on other folks.
He
Oh
was
yeah.
off the chain, boy.
There, I think it was on how I even learned about the guy. It was a show on Netflix, right when Netflix first started streaming, called Decide. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this dude was wilding, and
He
this is just
was
a show.
wilding. He was
I
wild. Like
mean,
Who is this nigga?
any
his
decide.
name was the Marquis de Sade. Decide, the side part is where the word sadism comes from.
And he's the guy. He invented all the all of the
All that
shit.
pain exchange stuff,
Yep.
that was him.
He was
One
arrested
dude.
so many damn times. He was getting arrested like every couple of weeks, every couple of
He
and
might
honestly,
be the king of SA.
and here's the thing. Here's the fucked up part. So many women. He had the women lined up. Not all women, but
Yeah.
enough women to where that they started questioning him as like, dang, you turning the women out. What he found was, and what we have found out is there are people into certain things. It wasn't everybody in his time, but it was enough of them to make a noise for them to start arresting that man and locking that man up. Like they exiled him and everything.
He was the Hugh Hefner of that
man.
time.
Hugh Hef, Diddy, he was all of them. Rap, all
Yeah, he really
one.
was.
He was a wild boy. He was a wild boy.
Yeah.
He was what?
It was demon.
He gonna call them all demons. Demon. So the bedroom is undefiled. That we kind of on the page of, Sam said it's defiled when another person enters, and then he said it's defiled. He said, but a man is the one that's defiled when he allows the woman to enter him. Yeah, I agree with. I agree with the woman entering him. You are a defiled man at that point. You are no longer straight. You're a defiled. That's the category. That's the name. You're defiled. You're a defiled man, not a straight man, not a gay man. You're a defiled man. There we go. That's good. The defiled.
Got a box for that nigga.
Yeah. You said what?
Got a box for him.
Yeah, the defiled. Yeah. LGBTQ D. They got a D in they got a D in the vocabulary now.
Oh
Defiled.
Lord. Yeah. There's enough alphabets.
They got a D.
Pun intended. They got a D in there.
I can't stand y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. This boy wilding. Oh, well, that's all I got for tonight, y'all. I ain't have a whole bunch of subjects. I mean, we got an hour, 44 minutes in here. We was able to be a little bit disgusting. I think I don't know who the biggest freak on the panel is. I think it's definitely Chef.
It is not. Don't play with me.
It's definitely Chef. It's definitely Chef.
It's really not.
Definitely
I'm
Chef.
a saint.
I'm
definitely Chef. Child.
It's Chef, followed by Casey, then followed by me, then followed by me.
Having whole dreams.
Man, I'm telling you, listen.
First of all, we still live. You know, y'all don't do me like that.
Yeah, of course we still live. It goes from
I have no control over my dream. Usher was in my dream all last night. I ain't have no control over that.
Yeah, you got control, girl. You got control.
Did he have skates on?
No, huh?
Did he have skates on?
He did not. He did not. I ain't even gonna tell y'all the dream. We gonna keep it moving.
But yeah, so
I would say Sheffy is number 1, then Sheffy is number 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I'm with that.
We don't pale in comparison.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody compares to Chef.
Just because I know stuff doesn't mean I actually do stuff.
Oh, you do you do more than half the stuff you know.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
She had to look up to the left and make sure she had to check her brain. She had to question.
No, I'm serious.
No, we missed.
I'm serious. I've done a lot, but
we know
most of the stuff I know isn't because I've done it. It's because I know people.
No people, yeah. No, it's we just playing. But just teach us some of the stuff you know though.
I don't know. Listen, I'm
learning on that.
I'm throwing Sheffy all up under the bus. I definitely think Sheffy the wild.
Me and Sam lacking in the terminology. We ain't know nothing about them ball busting techniques.
Oh yeah, I attended a showcase on that.
Oh wow.
It was very interesting. The most interesting thing I saw was saline drips. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, so they do saline drips into the sack until it swells up. Like we're talking about, it goes from this to like this, full of saline. And it's just it's funny because the lady who does it, she's a neonatal nurse.
Oh wow.
So she knows how to get IVs into small veins. And like, so that's how you kind of got into it. Like her thing is medical stuff. And it was interesting to watch. That was for sure. It's very interesting to watch. But she also does the same thing for like women who maybe you got a party to go to and you're trying to make your boobs look bigger in a dress. She'll do a saline drip into your boobs to give you temporary boobs.
Oh, nice.
So lots of applications.
They're gonna start doing tip flicking.
They do that.
I thought I just made that up.
No, that's a thing. That's a thing, yeah. And they have little hammers, and then you have the little wheels with the spikes on them, all kind of stuff. And then there's this glove called a vampire glove, and it has spikes all on the glove, and they hold it.
Oh,
you cannot.
Look at Dr. Ruthisha telling us all about the.
No, I'm just like literally. I've attended lots of like showcases and demos where people show different things, and it's like, man, this is some interesting stuff. Yeah. I really
I've always veered away.
But I've seen it.
Yeah, anything that I've ever, I've seen a few showcases. Now we've done the lifestyle club thing. Anything that I ever saw that even remotely put a man in a submissive position or something where he was dominated, I would instantly go the other way. I didn't even want to find out what that was that he was doing. So I know it exists. I know there's a room and a space for those things. I have zero interest in it at all. None. No. Nope.
I think all this just shows the dark imagination of man. Just the fallen nature of man. I think you can see it at its peak dealing with sexuality.
These things aren't new though.
I know.
They're old. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Okay.
These things are old. We're talking about a lot of the people who use floggers and whips and things like that. They're making them themselves with old school leatherworking techniques. That's where they these things are passed down generationally. For
And
some.
what you do find out though is that when you find out why men partake in being degraded and being dominated, those are typically men that are in positions of power and they want to experience no longer being in positions of power, and they don't want to experience it at the hands of other men. They will only experience it at the hands of women. Like it's a weird, it's a fetish. It's like the top CEO, like when women in that community tell you who their clients are, and they're not joking when they say the names, which
Some of the manliest men you'd ever meet.
They want to be strapped, they want to be choked, they want to be beat, they want to be humiliated. There was a lady telling me, lady I used to kick it with, she said there's this thing called the sitting room. And I said, what's the sitting room? She said the sitting room is a place where these men sit on a certain level. The women walk up on a platform and the women just walk and they just sit on the men's faces. Just sit.
Where is this at?
See, I knew it. I told you. Got her. Yep.
Wait, what?
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Listen, I might still know who that lady is if she still does shows. But she travels and hosts these things.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she like, yeah, she
in
like
Atlanta, you have Dragon Con. Dragon Con is a con for regular stuff, but it's also one of the largest BDSM cons in the Southeast. Yep. So they'll have like a sitting room showcase.
I have to remember that so I don't walk into the wrong room. I'm here to see comic books, man. I ain't trying to.
Oh no, it's usually not as the same venue as the regular stuff.
Okay.
But it happens during the same weekend. So you'll see, like when you're out walking around downtown while Dragon Con is going on, you'll see people dressed like characters, but then you'll also see people dressed in a whole bunch of leather and like pleather and such. That's what's going on.
So avoid the leather.
Pretty much, if you're trying to avoid that.
Or the
leather, patent leather, the PVC, all of that.
Yeah. You start seeing that
one of the largest leather cons is in Atlanta as well, because the leather community is primarily gay. So that happens in Atlanta as well. So yeah, what I know of the community, I learned from just meeting people. Because once you're out there and you see people, you're like, you're somebody's whole doctor. Yeah. And when I'm not there, I'm in a tutu and a blonde wig with heels on. Like, okay. And it becomes a safe space because it's like everybody has kind of their thing. Even in the BDSM community, there's levels. You have people who are just basic DS, which DS is just a control mechanism. It's no different than gender roles. They may do none of the spicy stuff, but because they have acknowledged the dominance and submission between them as a couple, they venture into BDSM spaces, even though they don't do any of the activity, so to speak. But then you have the extremists who, are living in cages 6 days a week and are only free 1 day a week, and having somebody control what they wear, their meals, things of that nature, the total power exchange people. Then, of course, you have folks who are poly, who may have a whole poly community where it's like 7, 8 people living in one house and they all share each other. So you have the extremes, but then you have the very mindful, very demure.
You
That
absolutely
kinda,
you got the voyeurs.
it's a
and the
gigantic spectrum.
Yeah, you got the voyeurs and the exhibitionists in the
Yeah,
same
you got
space.
those
There's people
too.
that like to watch. There's people that literally go to only sit there and just watch other people do freaky shit, and they're like, "Man, that was great."
Yeah.
That's all I want to do, just see somebody do some shit that I will never do, but I'm turned on by it. And then
Yep.
you got people that just want to be in front of other people, and they don't. It's nothing but being in front of other people, and they okay. It's a spectrum.
And it's not even always a turned on thing either. A lot of times it's just being in a place where people are expressing themselves in an uninhibited manner.
Yeah.
And it's more social than anything. Like the one spot in Atlanta, in Tucker, we used to venture to 1763. It's closed now. But they had a whole little eating area where you're standing there and this guy is probably naked with an apron on, eating a chicken tender and drinking a Coke and just having a regular conversation. But then you go out into the regular room, there may be a woman out there who has candle wax all over her, or you have somebody who has been rigged, and what rigging is rope work.
Yep.
Things like that. So, and then rope work isn't necessarily sexual. It's more about the feeling of weightlessness.
Mm-hmm.
So
or restraint. Or restraint. I love those. The rope work, man. Listen, man. You got some women that should have been Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever kind of scout. They can do some shit with some ropes, boy. They can.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit with rope.
Man, beautiful.
So it's not inherently this sexual deviance that people think BDSM is, because the spectrum is just so wide. You have the people who just, you have guys who just like to wear heels. They're completely straight, but they like heels.
No, they're not. Wait, hold on. Wait, did y'all see the movie?
No, heels started with men, not women.
Really
No, it's true.
And makeup.
Y'all see the movie that Steve Carell was in called fuck. It was a really good movie, man. Welcome to Marwin. And it's a true story. It's about a dude.
I've heard about it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man. Like Steve Carell's like a super actor, man. But he was beaten almost to death. And he was beaten to the point of memory loss because he was a straight man, married, everything else, and he liked to wear heels. Collected heels, had a whole bunch of heels. Mm-hmm. And when they found out in his community that he liked to wear heels, one day he was joking about it. They asked him was he gay, and he said no, but you might find me in a pair of something stilettos one day, and this, that, and the third. And the guys beat him like until an inch of his life, and then he lost the mirror. It's a really good movie. I actually have the movie. It's called Welcome to Marwin, and he's like, and he gets into photography and all. Like it's a really good movie. But it's some weird shit out here, man. It's just some weird shit. As long as you ain't harming,
yeah.
My thing is, as long
you got
as you
like adult lactation, and
yeah. Oh my god,
a lot of stuff.
I know a guy, Freaky Ali. If you see this shit, I'm talking about you. That nigga told me one day, "Hey man, something about that titty milk, boy." He said that shit came squirting out me one day. He said, "What the heck, man? I need him to tell his titty milk story." He is a wild. Listen, this motherfucker here. Now we get him.
And that's technically considered water sports.
Hey, hold on. Well, first of all, we had the whole titty milk show, didn't we? Didn't we have a titty milk show? We had that, so y'all know where we stand on that now. That's not defiling. That's nurturing, and we want it.
It is full of protein and enzymes to build your immune system. So it has cancer fighting enzymes and stuff.
Sam ain't as vanilla as y'all think. Put some titty milk in the conversation, and it's a wrap. Be just like Homelander. Just like Homelander, boy. You a wild boy. Damn, I knew you was a wild boy.
Homelander be tooted up like, let me get comfortable real quick.
Yeah, boy. Homelander was a wild boy off that titty milk, boy. Man, that's all I got, man. Y'all, man, please have a freaking good night. Let's stay out of Casey dreams. Whatever she got going on over there, what I'm saying. And we will. And that
was Sam that ran it off.
Yeah, man. And we will sign off with acknowledging that Sheffy is the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. She's the top dog. She's the top dog around here. The rest of us, we all trying to figure it out. Y'all have a
We
good
just
night.
little puppies trying to breastfeed.
Yeah. We trying to figure it out. Yeah. Y'all have a good night.